Hello everyone, it's Imi from Imy'sAnimals here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on keeping guinea pigs and rabbits warm during the winter. So it's a bit of a change of setup. It's because it is only about 3:30 in the afternoon and the light is going already. It's so cold, so I didn't want to leave the door open for guinea pigs, even though they're actually really squeaky in there because they want me to go in and feed them. Let's get started. Tip 1 on keeping your guinea pigs warm in the winter is, I would say, one of the main things is food. Rabbits and guinea pigs generate most of their energy from their food, and their energy helps generate heat, and so the more they can be eating, the more they eat, the more warm they will be. And I don't mean like suddenly overfeed them, but you just want to be keeping on top, like making sure they always have a good supply of clean hay that they can go sleep on and sleep with at night. They should always have hay anyway. If you have multiple animals, multiple guinea pigs or multiple rabbits, have a couple of places where you can access hay, because usually Panda usually sleeps in the hay basket, and then when Waffle wants to go in it, then like it's a bit of a fight usually. Or so I have a couple of different places where I have hay, and I top that up most days. Pellets, I'm not going to go into brands of pellets, but there are lots of videos on it. But during the winter especially, I keep on top of giving them pellets. Usually I do it every couple of days, but during the winter I do most evenings, like a couple of tablespoons, a tablespoon each for each guinea pig, and so I do a couple of tablespoons for each animal, for the rabbits and for the guinea pigs. This just keeps up the extra nutrients that they can't get from like natural foraged foods. Because when it's colder, not as many plants and fruits are growing, and so you can't get as much of the nutrients you need from those foods. So the pellets just keep up those nutrients for over the winter months. They need lots of vitamin C, and fruit and vegetables can give that. I'm aware you can't get many fruits at the moment, just because in the evenings there are usually bags of like kale, spinach and carrots reduced, especially in Tesco's, because I do gymnastics on a Wednesday night and my mum goes shopping whilst I'm there, and it's quite late in the evening and she always gets all the reduced vegetables, so weekly we get quite a few vegetables really cheap. So if you have lots of animals, I would recommend going in the evening to get your vegetables, just because they're usually reduced and you can usually end up spending like £15–20 on vegetables, whereas we get it for like under £3 for like 10 things. It's really good. Tip number 2 is covering and sheltering hutches. Hot air rises, cold air falls, and so if you have an exposed hutch, just like the one my guinea pigs used to be in, the cold air will fall down onto it and inside. Most hutches have a wire mesh at the front, and a lot of air and drafts get through that, as well as if you have any like cut open compartments on your hutches that you have to get guinea pigs out, if they have an enclosure or things, you want to cover up all that at night. They should be covered up anyway, just to prevent them from predators and things, and make them feel safer, but especially during the winter. What we do is we cover a layer of bubble wrap over the top, then a tablecloth on top, and leave something against it, so it can't flap up in the wind, keep causing more draft. But you should always cover up the wire mesh on the front, or if you have a shed like mine, all the doors should be covered, and if there is a door that leaks or is any drafts, make sure that's covered. I just use a bin bag. I just string pins to hold it up at the top, just 2 corners, and leave something at the bottom. Tip number 3. This is quite a fun tip to do, especially if you have a free weekend or time after school, and that is create fun things to do for your guinea pigs to do inside their enclosure. And so lately I've created like a few different setups. So I've got 2 logs, and then the bendy bridge on top inspires them to like jump on top. I usually put food up there, so always jumping on top of it. Tunnels, my guinea pigs love going in and out of tunnels, and so they enjoy having lots of tunnels just to play in. And so you want lots of toys, like little activities they can do if you can't be there during the day, like if you're at school, college or work. Whereas if you don't have that, you can pop it in and like give them food, like get them to follow the food and things. Keep them moving, because when they move they generate more energy, and that can like heat themselves up and heat the air around them, whereas usually in the cold they want to just sit and just stay cold, huddled up to keep warm, and then the air falls around them because it's not being moved and warmed up. If you're like me and you have a shed or a playhouse for your guinea pigs, and it's quite a big space, and especially for like 1 or 2 guinea pigs, they won't be able to generate enough energy to keep air warm, completely warm in there. They won't be too cold because it's quite sheltered, especially where I am. I have lots of trees around them, so the air doesn't completely fall onto them, and we have the house just right there, like right opposite, and so that keeps protection from the air as well, so the cold air isn't just falling straight onto them. And you want to put like a small hutch. Pets Palace TV has actually built some hutches for her guinea pigs. For mine, I just use one of these boxes, and I just use a box that has the lid up, and I put straw in there so they can burrow in it, and that's the door, and I can shut them in it if I need to during the night. But if it's really cold, so it's a small area to generate heat, but I tend not to do that because they are adult guinea pigs, quite a small space, and I try and give my guinea pigs as much space as I can so they can move and keep exercise, having access to that, and so if they do get cold they know they can go in there and burrow, which they had last year as well, so they kind of know what to do. And I find them sleeping in there sometimes, but not very often because it's not too cold yet. It's quite cold and it's been quite a dramatic change in temperature. Like we had quite a hot summer, then it was like quite a hot October, then suddenly it's just gone really cold from the transition to October to November, so autumn to winter it's suddenly gone really cold. I do really hope you take on board these tips because a lot of deaths during the winter are because of dramatic changes, and guinea pigs especially are really susceptible to deaths because of changing weather. Another thing you can do if you don't have like a hutch or a box like my one that I have that you can put in there, fleece houses, if you provide those, it's nice and cosy, you don't have to have straw in them. Fleece houses are really cosy and warm. Mine even love them in the summer, and I try not to because it gets so hot in there, but they're cosy, they're not completely on the floor, so it's cushions, there's air underneath them, the air stays inside. It's like a little bubble of air inside the fabric walls as well. Mine really like them, but they wee in them so much and then they smell, so I try not to use them too much, but mine love them loads. You can get some really good ones from Piggy Pig Pigs like my one is from, and I have strawberry from Charlotte that Frizzy Pig gave me, and that was from Amazon I think. And so there are lots of them about, and so I do recommend having like a few backup in case of really cold time. You have multiple guinea pigs, you need different places where they can go hide. Tip number 4. Tip number 4 has just got a few different extra little bits that can help, and little tips and tricks. A daily thing that you should do multiple times a day is check their water bottle, check that it's not empty, check that it hasn't frozen over, and if it has frozen their water bowl or water bottle, you can put a sock over the top. That's just a cheap way you can, or you can buy actual water bottle covers if you don't want to use a sock. So another tip you can do is get an animal heat pad. Lots of pet owners have these. I know Piggy Palace has one, and you can get them on Amazon. There's like a really popular brand on Amazon that does them for quite cheap. I think they're about £8 to £12, I'm not too sure. And then I think you just put them in the microwave and you put them in your guinea pig's bed or something, especially if they have a hutch. It's a really good idea. But I do suggest giving them a heat pad and getting them one of the pet ones if you can, because they're really good and you'll use them a lot during the winter for both rabbits and guinea pigs. Another thing that you should always do anyway, and I shouldn't really be telling you to this, is to check your animals morning and evening. I check my guinea pigs every single morning and evening because I give them a vegetable meal in the morning, then at night we give them hay and pellets if they need them that night, and just check they're okay, check they haven't got too cold, check they've got enough bedding, enough food, enough water, and just to give them a general check over, just talk to them a bit, make sure they're happy and moving. I hope some of these tips are really helpful for you, and I'm sorry there weren't very many. I had to refilm this video. I filmed it but I looked so bad and it was really hard to edit because I didn't see many good things, so I kind of narrowed it down to some of the better tips, and I hope these have helped. If they have, give me a thumbs up and comment down below some other tips or any videos you want to see. And thank you so much for 2k. I'm really proud of myself, and all of you guys, thank you so much for all sticking by me. I know I haven't been very active and my posts haven't been very good and my thumbnails are messing up. I don't know why, they're not fitting suddenly, my thumbnails, which is really annoying, but I am going to sort it out this weekend. Hopefully I'm going to go over, sort my channel out, sort my thumbnails out, and maybe do a different style, and a giveaway is coming up. I hope you and your pets stay happy and healthy during the winter months, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!